Hey, honey. Welcome back, Schlockaholics, to another interview. We are here with our good buddy Jack Hunter. The second. Did you kill the first? What happened there?
Um,
Did you
no,
battle him for the name?
no, I it's my just my dad. You know, I am a second, and people like to fuck with me and call it. Say I'm a junior, and I'm like I'll slit your throat.
Yeah,
Like,
junior is reserved especially for like Carl's,
oh God. Well, I
Just
mean,
leave it
like
there.
down here, in the South, you know, it's it's very it, being a junior is like a good thing, you know what I'm saying? Like they just yeah.
Yeah, if you're a junior, I imagine in the South, there's a tendency to end up just getting called junior. And you don't want to be a junior from the South.
No,
So,
you don't.
Jack Hunter, filmmaker extraordinaire, creator of the Paranoia Tapes franchise, recent director of Blame, Amityville Rideshare, and upcoming projects, possibly a Turtles film at some point. We're going
Yeah,
to take this all the way
we could
back to
talk.
the
Yeah,
beginning, though, but buddy,
yeah.
Junior, we're going to go all the way back to the beginning. What was we're all horror centric dudes here, yourself included. What was the film that sparked your interest in the genre that first caught your attention and made you fall in love with it? That set you on the path to where you are now.
What set me on the path, man? I get, guys. For the record, I lost my voice last night, so I wish we could get sponsored by this company. It's called Clear Voice for singers, and it's.
There you go.
Let me. Oh wow, that was quick. But we are well, shit, man. I was I my first horror movie I remember watching was that I can visually remember sneaking behind the couch was when George Romero's Day of the Dead came out.
Nice.
Yeah, I was completely terrified.
I could imagine.
And my parents had no idea I was behind the couch. And I think I had popped up towards the end, and the part that stuck out to me obviously has to be, I think it was the dream sequence with the hands through the wall.
Yeah, through the calendar.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
yeah. Of all times, you know, I got that. That's what it was. And it was completely like, it was insane. Like, and then from there, the very first full horror movie that I saw, which um my mother didn't know about. I was at my aunt's house, and she showed me Child's Play, the very first one.
Oh fuck, dude.
And at the time, I had I had a My Buddy, which is what the film was inspired from. The doll. Like, if you look at the original
Right.
My Buddies that we had,
It's
the
just a fucking Child's Play doll, pretty much.
yeah, without red hair. You know and
There he is. Look at that furry face. I love
there,
it.
oh, there he is. Yes, hi.
One day I'll run my fingers through that beard.
Uh,
Uh,
he could have put up a mask
sprinkle
that
some
I
in
was
your
proud
box.
of for his background. That would have been.
well, there's
But
too many masks to be moving those boys around. So Child's Play, man, that's a formative one for me as well. I think if you see that in childhood, it's got a special magic to it, especially that for those first couple.
absolutely,
And it's
absolutely.
fascinating how many of us have the behind the couch origin story. If you're from a certain era where your parents would be up late at night watching cable horror films, you sneak out sometimes, you catch one. Mine was Alien, and they busted me because of the chest burster scene. Because it's hard not to fucking audibly react to that the first time that you see
Oh
it.
yeah, if you don't react to that, like you don't know it's coming,
Yeah,
you're not a human.
Yeah, those were some fucking spicy noodles they were eating or something. I don't know what I was thinking as a kid because I missed the part where he got the face hugger on him. I think I crept out like shortly after that when they were arguing with Ripley to put him back on the ship.
Oh wow.
So I had no idea what the fuck was going on, and then it was like, whoa, my god, and they busted me, and they were nice enough to let me finish it with them. It was just pretty rad. I'll be forever in their debt.
Right, and like I actually found those kicks for you too, pretty inexpensive too. The
the alien stompers, yeah, I'd love a pair of those.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to, actually I may go through our messages and order a pair tonight, and just be like, hey Mo, look what I got.
Fuck yeah. I would be envious of that for sure. One of my favorite movie shoes, next to the Super Mario Brothers boots, and of course the self-lacing Nikes from Back to the Future.
Dude, those boots were amazing.
The jump boots. I wish those were a real thing, dude. I'd be flying all over the place if those jump boots were real.
Yes, and the movie, we need a goddamn sequel, bro. I want Daisy busted in, said some shit's going down. What the fuck was happening, man?
Yep. In an alternate universe that was successful, and we got like 3 more of them at least. So Child's Play. I've already forgotten the first one. Day of the Dead. Yeah. So from there, obviously, I'm sure you were hooked on the genre, and probably, if you were lucky, got to start renting them. I mean, how was your first few years of exploring the genre facilitated? I guess.
Well, believe it or not, I was I guess sheltered in a sense. The next film that I ended up watching was that like fully. And I think my mom was trying to like get me into the, just there, it was like our mom and son, my stepdad would work at night. And so she was excited to watch a scary movie with me. And it was the remake of Night of the Living Dead with Tony Todd. And it was on, I think, HBO at the time. And that scarred the fuck out of me. Not gonna lie.
One of the better remakes sadly does not get enough credit. It's starting to.
I like the movie other than someone in it. Well, yeah, I can't discuss it because if I say something that this person did, I will. Yeah, it won't be good. But I do love the fact that Tony Todd is in it. It was great. I loved it. Yeah. So it's one that I don't mind revisiting, except when a certain actor comes on screen, and it's just kind of like I zone out because whatever, because there's a history of something that happened, and but other than that, it was a good movie, and I truthfully, like, after that, I think the next scary film that I can remember seeing, which wasn't really scary, was Ernest Scared Stupid.
Hell to the no. That movie is fucking terrifying, bro.
Yes.
Those trolls were no joke, especially if you're in the appropriate age range for it. It's something pretty special. So,
absolutely.
Jumping forward a bit, obviously from there you started exploring the genre. When was the first time as a lad that you got the filmmaking bug, that the idea of potentially someday making your own film was planted in your brain? Not necessarily when you decided you were going to do it, but when was the moment where like your imagination started picking up on that idea that, I could maybe do this myself someday?
Well, that happened. That happened when my one of my best friends from childhood, Spencer Lemoyne, we became friends, and then we kind of realized that, we used to do the same thing with our action figures like Star Wars and Jurassic Park, where we would take our stop motion skills and make our own movie. And when we realized that we both did that, we were like, why don't we make our own movie? Why don't we do something like that? Let's do it. Fuck it. I mean, obviously we kids didn't say that, but we we had his family's like mini VHS, like the super small tapes, not the the mini VHS tapes that you go in, you put it in there, it pops out, and you're like,
Was it like high 8 or something like that?
No, it was. It wasn't. I don't know. I mean, it was like 2000. So in year 2000, whatever.
They film a lot of early skate videos with those same cameras. I feel like back in the day before VX came around or whatever.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't anything like HD or nothing like that. It was definitely a part. It was like a step above VHS. Really, like it was just a mini VHS, and the way we had edited it was. Put a VHS play, in a VCR, and we plug up the audio and video cords to it, and then we would edit like that. So from tape to tape, literally, the scenes, and Spencer really, really did most of that, but that was like how it all began, when people are, dude, like kids and like people that want to be filmmakers, and like even Cody's son Blaze, who does a great job with editing, everything is at your hands now, dude. Like it's like, oh, you want that? Okay, boom, boom, dude. Back 20 years ago when I started this, or as a hobby, then it was hard. It was so.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, even fucking 15, 16 years ago or whatever it was when I made my one and only short, it wasn't you didn't have quite the stuff at your disposal. The aspect ratio on that camera that I had was fucked. The editing shit that I had at my disposal was not great. It's not a very impressive short, but there's a certain enthusiasm that comes along with doing those first little film projects. I would imagine I've kind of felt it where it's like, I don't even care if I'm using substandard equipment. It's the joy of being creative with it and feeling like you're somehow doing it.
The one thing that it's like I knew I was different with all that was angles. And even Spencer and the guys, when we were kids, they'll tell you even to this day, like, I had a vision. I loved over the shoulder shots of like, this kind of blurred, but then you see the reaction of them watching it. And then like you cut to the other angle of them doing the same thing. And then it just splices as they walk, I always in my head had a very bigger vision. And they made fun of me, not gonna lie. 'Cause when we're making these things, some of them did it like as for fun. I think me and Spencer are the only ones that really continued it. He has a wedding video business that he does. He films weddings and makes them beautiful. It's Lemoyne Productions on Facebook, guys, if you check him out. And
shout out Spencer.
Yeah, he's badass, and I ask him questions, and he'll ask me. Actually, he doesn't really ask me anything. It's more me going to him. So he'll like that. But we are the only ones that really knew what we wanted to do in media. Everyone else would do it for fun. But I always
teasing on you guys because you're the dudes in the punk rock band that actually wanted to tune your guitars, kind of.
Yes. Oh God, yeah. And like even like me and Spencer, we did music. Growing up, we had bands, and everyone, I hated that shtick of, oh, it's just a high school band.
Fuck that. It's a band.
Kids, to these people, my brain, I may have been playing for a school fair, but in my head, it was a fucking stadium. And that's not
right. That's the attitude you gotta have if you're gonna do it at all seriously.
Right, and you can, people can say whatever they want to say, about a dreamer. The thing is, the difference that made that was the difference between a dream and a hobby, or fuck, I even forgot my own saying of it. But basically, fuck, it's really cool. I forgot how I say it. Basically, it's not a dream if you have an end goal, and you have a plan. Oh yeah, a dream is only a dream. But if you have a dream with a plan, then it's a goal. And
Right.
it's not just a hobby. And me and Spencer always had that. He went to college for mass communications in media, and I went to Bible college and everything else. I picked up that stuff along the way. But I always knew what I wanted to do. I just didn't know what avenue to take. I didn't have a lot of money for scholarships and all that stuff, so I didn't go that route. But but I've always been an OJT type of guy, and learning on the job, and learning to make do with nothing to create something. And
Right.
if I'm not mistaken, I think that's one thing that I probably did teach Cody and his son while they were here was, don't ever say you can't do something because you don't have something. You have to see the positives. And actually, I can prove that right now. I'm gonna drop down. You guys can talk. I'm gonna bring a prop to you, and I'm a
Okay.
quiz. I'm gonna quiz you on what you think it is. Cool.
Cool. That sounds
Okay.
fun.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of like anybody that sort of supports the idea of just doing that, following your dreams, getting something done, even if the final product is shit, like my short film was. If it's a short film that exists, that wouldn't if I didn't do it. So I guess that would be my advice, kind of playing off of what he was talking about for anybody out there that is an aspiring filmmaker, is just get out there and do it. Your first few rounds of it might not turn out the best, but if you've got passion behind it, there's going to be potential that follows it, because we'll be able to see that your passion could increase the potential of those films. Speaking of Blaze, shout out to him. Definitely looking forward to checking out that Jack Allen film that he put together. I watched the trailer for that actually a couple of times just the other night, and it looks fun, man. It looks like a fun little sort of backyard epic kind of a thing.
I really think the first name is probably a nod, or or it's Jack Ryan. I don't know, but I'm gonna take the credit that he's like, hey, thank you. Here's your name.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck what it's called, but
Okay,
it's
I'm
about
gonna watch
hockey
it.
murder. So that's all I need to hear.
Okay, so
Real shortage of hockey slashers out there. I think that's something he should pursue.
I have a prop right here that Cody saw me make, and I want to quiz you, Mo, on what you think I made it out of. You ready?
Yeah, sure. I would guess there's some masking tape involved and paint, and
You're way off.
That would be my guess. Masking tape. There's clearly duct tape is involved here, but most.
Well, yeah, that's because it had broke a little bit, so never repainted it.
Right.
So, Cody.
Yep.
How did we make this?
I wasn't in there when you made it.
Bullshit.
Reveal your secrets, Jack. What did you do? Is it paper mache?
No. Okay, so is Blaze there, Cody? Because he could tell us.
No, he's at work.
Oh, damn him. Okay. What this is, I had told Blaze, I said, we needed a mallet, like something of that type of weapon. And I didn't have anything. But what I had was tape. And I had some crafting, like the tongue things, like, the little wooden tongue things. And I said, Blaze, go outside, get me some sticks. Get me a stick. So what he did was he went out there. He went get me some sticks. And I concocted this thing out of sticks, the masking tape. What I did was with the tongue suppressors is I stabilized the outside of it. Then I went around it so it could have a solid in the middle. It'd be the sticks that were in there. And then I went around it with masking tape. And then I got 2 water bottles because we had a lot of water bottles. And I put those on there like that. Did that. Boom, boom, boom. And then Mo's internet failed. And then what we did was I went outside and painted it while you guys were filming. So, but the more I look at it, I unintentionally made it look like a Quidditch broom. You know, like look at that. Like that is so Harry Potter, bro. Like, come on. Like I didn't intentionally do that.
That is cool.
Yeah. So, is Mo okay?
And usually he gets kicked out at least once for his internet, so that's probably what we're on.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's what I did, man. That's yeah. So if you can make something out of nothing, you're creative, and sometimes you have to use what you got to do it.
Yeah, and it's a big part of these movies. You can't afford to buy stuff; you got to make your own.
Right, and it makes it more personal too when you do stuff like that. Like, I'm sending that to you, by the way, Cody, as a gift. So
that's gonna be too hard to ship.
Really?
That thing's huge.
That's what she said.
It's a girthy boy. Yeah. But yeah, creating something out of nothing is a good thing to pursue. It's a good talent to have. So to that end, I mean, what was the first film project that you made that you felt like was, something more than like your guys' DIY kind of like basement epics with the stop motion and stuff? What was the first project that you set out? The first
like professional one that we really did put our hearts into, it was called Body Temperature, and it was an hour and a half comedy movie and drama about a rock band from the 80s that were huge, and due to their problems and the lead singer's addiction to cocaine and stuff, they all fell out. But then they're getting told that this reporter wants to do a story on them, and they show them, at the time, what music is, and the fact that like people forgot what real music is. And because at the time it was like the songs that were out there, like party like a rock star, party, like, really wasn't music. It was hip, it was, banging for us. But, in that rock and roll sense, rock and roll was dead,
Right.
And, throughout the movie, they come back together, and, it has a great climax. And, in that universe, Body Temperature saved rock and roll. And that was really cool.
Sounds neat, man.
Yeah,
it's like
an
interesting.
You guys can check it out. It's Body Temperature, full movie, official movie or something. I'll put the link. I'll find the link and send it to you to put down there.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely be checking that out. So what? Obviously, you're a big fan of Blair Witch. We've talked about this before.
Oh yeah.
Was that? I think that was the first found footage movie a lot of people saw. It was definitely mine. There was ones that technically existed beforehand, like Cannibal Holocaust and stuff, but they were found footage in a sense. I think Blair Witch was like the first mainstream found footage movie that sort of planted the idea of that style of filmmaking into, the popular culture. And obviously it had an effect on a lot of people. It was one of those flicks where it gave you a sense of it maybe being real. Really put you into the movie, and made you feel like you were there running around with those fucking kids in the woods, like trying to avoid the witch or whatever it was.
Absolutely. Yeah. That was the first found footage film I think I've ever seen. Like you said, like everyone in America probably, found footage was a thing. It wasn't a cliched or an official genre, because the last one, okay, so I'm sorry. There has been found footage films that come out before Blair Witch, but none had ever amassed the marketing success as this one did. because they had they had this they had a film called the Miss McPherson tapes that came out in the 80s. They actually remade it, and it's so cringy to watch, but both versions too. And it's about aliens, and
Yeah, at least they kept it fucking true to the original with the cringe.
yeah, they did. But what failed, what okay, so with that movie, what got me from that was like I noticed the actress from the Fast and Furious in that remake, and I'm like, wait, okay, so this isn't real, because up to that point I was like, because when I finally watched it, I didn't know that it was a genre. So yeah, anyway, so that one came out, but the marketing strategy that Dan and Ed had on the Blair Witch was fucking genius, bro.
It really was.
Like,
everybody had to see the Blair Witch.
Internet
I probably would have never watched it if my mom didn't rent it and like me. She's like, "Oh, we got to watch this new horror film that's out." I was very much like a slasher kid, so I didn't give a fuck about like kids running around in the woods from a witch. But it that first time watching the Blair Witch was an experience. I actually haven't revisited it in a long time, and I'm not sure it would still hold up for me today. But man, did that have an effect, I think, on everybody that saw it the first time. And it was polarizing. You either loved it or you hated it.
Oh, there was no middle. There was no middle ground.
Yeah.
Some people thought it was boring.
Yeah. Yeah, which I could understand the argument to a point. But I assume, or I shouldn't assume. When you saw Blair Witch, was it immediately like a light bulb went off, or was it sort of one of those things that you watched it and then years down the road when you started thinking about seriously diving into making horror films, you sort of went back to the well of stuff that you loved, and Blair Witch was the cream that sort of floated to the top at the time?
Okay, so basically what you're saying is like, obviously I'm known for found footage, so I guess I didn't know what found footage was. I didn't know what the genre was called until I got out of the military in 2010. And because a friend of mine, or an associate, when I moved to Vegas after the military, him and his like other partner were wanting to make a new film, like in a new genre. And he started naming off stuff. And that's when, like, I think we were up to Paranormal Activity 2 at that time. And I was really impressed, like, by that. And I didn't know that it was a sub-genre. I had no idea what the genre. I thought it was just like homemade shit, like we all thought. And I started diving. But once I went down that spiral, it was, that rabbit hole, it was addicting. And I just got that, like, the fact that you can make a movie and have people think it's real and you trick people, because that's all it is. It's deception. The whole found footage is deception. And have and reach someone emotionally so much to where it could possibly scar them for the rest of their life. That was so intoxicating. And so invigorating. That type of, like, I did that. Like, like, think about how Stephen King feels to know, in a sense, created calorophobia. It was a thing before, but without it popping on our ABC mini, prime time, no one really would have had a fear of clowns.
Yeah, I mean, there was like random TV clowns that people did find somewhat creepy, but Pennywise really changed the game.
Bozo was the shit.
So, just of note too, I'm not a huge found footage guy, but I do have some found footage favorites. Devil's Pass is one that I really enjoy quite a bit. Frankenstein's Army was a solid one. Anything that can do like some fucked up effects and sort of meld found footage with traditional filmmaking, I'm a fan of. Paranormal Activity didn't do much for me because it's just fishing lines and sheets moving around, and you know what I mean.
Did you watch it in theaters though?
Fuck no,
theaters,
bro.
yeah, see, that's it,
I paid
dude.
$9 to see that shit.
He was a pussy. He was scared. Admit it, man.
Honestly, I don't even think I was really aware that people were liking them or they were worth seeing until much, much later. I do like the first one. I have the whole set back here on the shelf.
Me too.
I've watched it at home, and it's definitely not the same as watching it in. Like I went opening weekend to several of them, and like the full theater reaction more than made up for the movie because I've watched it at home. It's definitely not the same because it's so slow.
The energy, like here and here's the deal with that. I'm gonna tell you the story on how I found out Paranormal Activity was fake because it blew my mind. Like because I was getting told about it, saying, "Jack, you got to go see this movie. It's real. Like it's scary as shit." So what I did was, okay, Cody. Yeah. No, what I did was I downloaded it. Yes, I pirated it back in the 2000, 2009, 8, whatever it was. And I saw an ending that no one was talking about. I was like, that's what really got me because my friend would tell me about. We go talk about it. Like, yeah, I saw it, and I'd say something about the ending, and they're like, "Wait, what movie did you watch?" I was like, Paranormal Activity, and it was 2 different endings.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of them where the main girl dies, and then there's another one where she gets
her throat.
Yeah. So I saw that one where she's dead, and I think that was the one they released in Europe, and I'm like, yeah, it was really pretty cool how she died. And they're like, no, she gets drugged out the room and get thrown at the camera and stuff. I'm like, no, she doesn't. And they thought I was crazy. But next thing you know, we find out that there's different endings. And that's when I was like, these motherfuckers got me. Like, you fucking good job.
Yeah, that was the thing that really made me sit up when I was watching Paranormal Activity was that ending where chucking someone at the fucking camera, and it's just so abrupt and weird and like, what the fuck, So it did have some entertainment value for me. It's possible I fucked up by not seeing them. I've got the full set. I've seen the first 2, I think, so I'll get to them one of these days. But
I officially saw part 3 in theaters. Like I went with a buddy of mine, rest in peace, Jason, in Vegas. We went to see it. I had free tickets because I was in that the club. I forgot what kind of email club we was in, and like you could go see it for free to review it, the screeners and shit, and give you reaction and stuff. And it was awesome. It was so fucking cool. I also saw the Chernobyl Diaries like that. Had free access, pre-screener. I saw Let Me In, the American one.
I like it.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
Yeah, people hate on it because not Norwegian or Swedish or whatever. But
it's slow. It's not.
First one's pretty slow though too.
Both of them.
I mean, they're slow burn for sure, but I like them both a lot.
But anyways, so I got obsessed with it back in 2010, and then my friend, my co-writer and co-creator of the franchise Paranoia Tapes, Chad Freeman, he told me, like, hey, let's like you should come to Vegas because I had moved back home in 2012, and he's like, you should write write something found footage, just to see what you come up with, and next thing you know, we'll back up how I met Chad. Chad is the co-creator of the Paranoia Tapes. He's obsessed with found footage just as I am. And the way we came to be friends was I wrote a script. My very first script I wrote, it was called Faceless. And I submitted it to a local film festival called Polygrind, which is no longer, it's not a festival no more.
R.I.P.
Yeah, I'm trying to bring it back, Chad. If you're watching,
I'm gonna pour one out for you because this shit's expensive.
But it was it's a local one, so I submitted it, and next thing you know, first time like feature script. Like it's like 90 something pages above, or like it was like 87 in like Word document. Because I had no idea what Final Draft was or any of that. And it won best screenplay.
Yeah, I remember reading about that in an article from like some Louisiana Times type thing.
Yeah,
that I found
yeah.
about you online.
And it was really, that was intoxicating, or like I don't say intoxicating. It was like
Encouraging.
Yes, yeah. It was like, I got something here. Like I actually do have a talent, because
maybe I can do this.
Maybe I can do that. And unfortunately, we've never produced that. That
man,
script.
maybe we might have to throw that bitch together.
Well, there's something in the works. A filmmaker is actually currently reading that script, and actually, I rebooted my own script, and rewrote it in 2020. So this filmmaker has, I'm not going to throw out there what film it is, but he wants to make it a trilogy. I'm like, dude, I was like, you just got to change a couple things in these scripts. I have 2 features already whodunits for you. I was obsessed with Scream and all that. And so that's what he's currently reading them. And if he likes them, they could do, or we could do, an Indiegogo campaign to where we can film them back to back. That would be
I hear those are lucrative.
Yeah.
So
you get all types of fucking Subway money from that, Sean C. Phillips.
I read all
moving on from that.
This is supposed to be a positive show, sir. We're not talking
I couldn't help myself, dude. There's events, there's things brewing.
God.
But yeah, it's so basically, you submitted your script that gave you the encouragement you needed to think I can pursue this. And then your friend, he encouraged you to sort of put together some found footage shit, eh?
Yes.
So, where did you come up with the idea of the Paranoia tapes title?
Just say it. I know what you want to say. Just say
We're
it.
always going to call it Paranormal Tales in Private. We do it all the
time. What's sad is my phone autocorrects it every time. You think it would have it figured out by now.
I think we've said it so much too that it's autocorrecting now time. Because we're goofing about it.
Yeah, it's like like autocorrect thinks it's hilarious, so they just say fuck it. No, Chad asked me to write something like a short that we could easily do, and next thing you know, I write. I'm sitting. I was working offshore, but I was back in for like 2 weeks, and I write this short called Paranoia Tapes 101, and it's actually in the very first Paranoia tapes. It's the scene of the oh god, what do they call it? The killer, the one with the kid makes the Cottonwood murders. And I based that off of Cottonport, Louisiana, which is where I'm from. And that is the entire script I wrote. Like that whole short, he did it verbatim, like boom, 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 the twist at the end, all of that shit.
Nice.
It was, next thing you know, I send that to Chad, and he's like, how long did it take you to write this? I'm like, yeah, like an hour, if that. He's like, dude, he's like, have you seen VHS? And I'm like, duh, like I fucking love that movie. I'm like, and I think it was at the time before, no, I think part 2 had just come out. So, and, oh yeah, by the way, VHS is the very first film that scared the living shit out of me. I woke up from nightmares with that fucking movie. Yeah, baby. There you go.
Confession. Still sealed.
Which is,
I haven't watched it
yet. The irony here, the short that freaked me out the most was Siren, which is the very first one, with Hannah Fireman. And ironically, my film Horror Nights, one of the first segments, stars Hannah Fireman. So I'm like, that's like a fucking blessing. Like, holy shit. You know, yeah, baby. Like, it just
Take note of the skull.
where do you think I got the idea?
We do it out of love, Jack. So
Fuck you, Cody, because we already talked about this off air. And I said exactly what I said you would say. And he's like, yeah, pretty much. Fuck you. Anyways.
Continue, sorry.
God damn you. God damn it.
You love it, dude.
Okay. Well, he's like, Jack, he's like, why don't we make a movie independently? You write it and we get the people we want to be involved. Because at the time, Vegas was so cliquey. It was cliquish to the fucking max. And, you know, people we always got told no. You know, like when we want to work on a project, people were like, no. We're, you know, they're so snobby. So in a sense, we made Paranoia tapes to be like, fuck you to the ones that said no, we couldn't be involved with their stuff. So we picked some very talented filmmakers at the time. Locally,
keep coming back to this theme on here, but it was like your Goonies moment. You know, this is our time. God damn it.
Yeah. And it was cool as shit, though. Dude. Like so anyways, so I would write a script on my breaks when I was working offshore. I'd have like an hour break, and I made a goal to write a short script, sometimes go in without having any idea of what I'm writing, but just do it.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, I still
like
have
a creative writing exercise, kind of.
Right.
Like I've got an hour. What can I pull out of this? Yeah.
It was a challenge. And so I did, dude. I still have scripts from then that we never used.
Nice.
I actually wrote a pilot TV series episode for Paranoia Tapes, the TV series. It's called Z-Buzz, and it's about this drug that the government is testing, turns you into a zombie. Without realizing it, I guess I kind of Return of the Living Dead. But found footage.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah,
I forget what the deal with the Return of the Living Dead shit was.
It's the tub, the vial,
smog,
the oil tubs full of the goop, whatever the government made.
Oh, that fucking corpse sludge from the
sludge,
Night of the Living Dead zombies.
But anyway, my script, it's very violent. Like it's like it shows this one chick that's pregnant. Like it's just a tease. It's like this pregnant zombie. Next thing you know, like you see her pregnant, but then all of a sudden, everything like at the bottom, like everything gushes out like underneath her, and it's in the script. Like it is the most.
I like gushing.
Yeah.
So
it's like she loses the baby, or whatever it was. I haven't read in a while, and it was so like. That's fucking terrifying, and I'm still sad we never did it. I really think we could once my life, evens out. But I wrote the scripts and I flew to Vegas in January of 2014, and I was on set filming the wraparound story for Paranoia Tapes, the two timing one, and a couple of others. And dude, it was the best thing to go to set of another production company, and no one knows who you are. They'll introduce you as Jack, whatever, and then you sit down and you're like, so. What do you think of the script for this? Like, what do you think about it? And they're like, oh, it's so like, it's really cool. Like what happens and the twists and, I was soaking in it. Like, I just loved the positivity and the fact that they were being positive about it and didn't even know who I was. That's really, it's really cool. Like, in a sense, it sounds narcissistic, but say you didn't know what Stephen King looked like, and he was on set while you were filming, and he asked you about the story, and you just were like, it's amazing, like I relate to this and that, and then all of a sudden you say, by the way, I wrote this, dude. That you could hear a pin drop, while we were on set during that moment, and they were like, "Are you kidding me?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then next thing you know, I go buy everyone coffee like the whole night. Like I went to like this little Starbucks thing that they had. It was like this indie place. I'm like, "Yo, it's on me. What do you want? Come on, let's go."
Well, fuck, Jack, you've never even bought us coffee. I expect a Starbucks gift card in the mail presently.
I don't support Starbucks, but all right. I know, right? Don't cancel me.
I'm sorry, a Wild Jody has appeared here.
Who's Wild Jody?
There's lingerie involved, if you know.
Oh, there's lingerie? Lingerie? Yeah.
Oh. So, just fast tracking this a little bit, because we are going to be doing some in-depth discussions about paranormal tapes, but
fuck you.
So you do the first paranoia tapes, and it's a thing, ragtag group of Vegas cats come together and put together this found footage anthology. Did you have any idea in your mind at the time that it was going to turn into a long-running franchise, or was it just kind of one of those things where you thought, this is cool, we made it, we successfully completed a film, maybe it'll never happen again, but we at least did it this one time, kind of a deal? And then what was the impetus for doing the second one? What was
truthfully, I'm going to be real with you. I knew I wanted sequels. Can you stop, Joey? Can't
help it, man. I got a thick, curvy piece of
me?
woman over here that I got to look at and raise some eyebrows to. Okay? We're fine.
I really thank God that the camera view is from like chest up right now. Can you, yo, Cody? He's
this.
Yeah, we get demonetized real quick.
Yeah,
do it, Cody. Let's get greasy with this.
So she, anyways, no, I knew I wanted sequels. Actually, we made the announcement on this podcast the first night I flew there, or one of the nights, went to this bar where actually Ron Jeremy was at our table.
Speaking of me too.
Oh dear God. Anyways, so he's there, whatever, and me and Chad make the announcement on there that we are doing a we had like I think 4 sequels planned. I didn't know how they were going to come to be, but we did have them planned. We were going to, that was a plan. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Nice. Now, would you say that it was like your fandom of Scream that sort of planted the idea, and I would assume other things, but was that a factor in the mindset of we could take this and turn it into a franchise, or did it just kind of happen?
I want to say it naturally and forcefully happened. I would have always loved the franchise. Are you done?
No. You can look at my sex eyes while you talk, dude.
Yeah. No,
It's an adult show.
Yeah. Well, what we did, I thought I didn't know I would be the creator of a franchise. At the time, it was only called Paranoia Tapes. I didn't know that my name would unintentionally be a brand. And I always thought it was going to be like a Jack Hunter film, Jack Hunter Presents or whatever. But when we made the choice to call it Jack Hunter's Paranoia Tapes, everyone, I'm not like, I got so much hate. Like, I'm gonna be real. Like, I got so much fucking hate from people who I thought supported me. And they thought I was egotistical. And I haven't never really made anything other than a couple shorts that I put my name in the title. And I'm like, my
full disclosure, we've made fun of you for it, but I think it's in good nature.
No, but you're right. But my thing is like, even before John Carpenter or Wes Craven were anyone, it was always like Wes Craven's Duel or John Carpenter's Duel. No, Wes Craven. Was it?
I
It was
don't
John
remember
Carpenter.
who did Duel.
I think it was John. No, Spielberg. Spielberg did Duel, right?
Yeah, because then he did Jaws, right?
Jaws. Yeah,
Afterwards.
that's why
Or
he
was doing Jaws because of Duel. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was like this. It was this contract. Like, if I do this, you guys let me do this. Yeah. So
You were doing the classic horror poster thing where it's
absolutely 110%, but unintentionally creating a brand, and that spawned sequel after sequel after sequel. Yeah.
Right.
Don't
Oh, I'm
smile
listening,
at her.
dude.
Give her sexy eyes.
Trust me, okay.
Look back at me.
Looking at her delicious lips does not distract me enough that I'm not listening to you. I can multitask. I'm looking at your delicious lips too, buddy.
Yeah. Anyways, no. So, and then you asked, how did the sequel come about? I think that's what your next question.
Yeah.
was. Well, okay. So I had originally written. It's actually still unused. It's a full wraparound script for the sequel. Press play. I'm gonna have to ask your girlfriend to go in the other room.
She's already there.
Such.
No, you'd written a full wraparound script for press play.
I did. And then next thing you know, sorry, there's a bunch of cops. Like,
I didn't do it.
It's not me. I didn't do it. No, they. I came across Paranoia Tapes 2 happened during a very crucial time of my life in 2018, and I had gone on YouTube and I watched a film called DVD. It was made by a Finnish filmmaker called Stephen Damers, and I saw it had some views but not many, and I'm like, yo, this is really good. And the fact that some of them had subtitles, in my head I'm like, people have to watch it and they have to pay attention and read. So
Right, yeah,
I used that train of thought and I messaged it. I'm like, dude, I was like, I have this franchise or this potential franchise, and I would love to feature your film in mine. I'll write some stuff and film some stuff, tying it into the first film. And next thing you know, he was on board, dude. Like, it was pretty brutal. The stuff he did was brutal. And then then next thing you know, it ended up being one of our most popular sequels. Like, it's truly my favorite sequel in all fucking 12 films. I love part 2. I can honestly say I think part 2 is better than part 1. And another thing too I thought about was, if it's in another language, people aren't gonna know if it's bad acting. They're not. You really don't pick up on it.
Right.
And sorry, that's not knocking Steven or his actors, because they were great.
It is a good thing to have in your favor, though.
Yes, absolutely.
There's a language barrier. It's the same reason. Like, I can't tell if Japanese films that I watch are bad or good, like acting wise, because I don't know the inflection of the language.
You can tell.
Yeah, sometimes. You can for sure tell sometimes. But,
but yeah. So part 2 came out, and I was really excited about. Like, it was the one film I invited all my friends at the time to come watch. Like, come check it out. Like, let me know what you think. And I would have the no phone policy. Like, do not look at your phone. Watch the movie, and tell me every detail you think, what you think about it. And next thing you know, I'd say it becomes a hit because people always talk about that one. And I just got told by Film Hub that I should upload all of my films, the director's cuts, because no one can find the first one at all. No one. But so I'll get to there in a minute. But they really, yeah. So then I started outsourcing for parts 2 and for 3 and 4. But the thing is, parts 3 and 4, the only thing that ties them together now is Cody, me.
That's all you need, baby.
Yeah, Cody
That
and me.
furry
Tie
little
them in.
face up in there.
Because what they really had they were supposed to be spinoffs. I was like, oh wow, I can create a spinoff. But I was so ready, like I could have like 2 more products or 2 more entries. Like, fuck yeah. So I filmed some things, tying them both in,
Right.
and got some shorts from other people. And next thing you know, I now have Paranoid tapes 1 through 4.
Yeah, and it sounds like ball got rolling, and here we are today, 11 of them done, most recent of which heavy involvement from our boy Blaze, spawn of Cody's Loins. Real proud of you, buddy, if you're listening out there in YouTube land. Stoked to watch it. Can't wait till my box gets here so that I can go through and see all the other stuff. You got people to contribute for them and, whatever stuff you guys shot. Cody's intros, all that stuff. It's a proper franchise. It's 11 fucking movies deep at this point,
And the one thing about these new versions too is, and Dustin Hubbard, one of my best friends and producers, he's like, "You're George, stop re-editing old shit." But the thing is, some of the entries, mainly 7, it's just like people just don't like it. It is what it is. Okay. I'm not knocking Jordan, the filmmaker that made it, because it's his baby, but he was a new filmmaker at the time. So, he did something with nothing. And I wanted to tie every single Paranoia tapes movie together because there was a lot of continuity issues. But when I met Cody on via Dark Park Films podcast, where they did a full, like, God, I think in total almost 5-6 hours of interviews, my entire history, whatever. Cody ended up reaching out to me, and I gotta throw Cody out there right now. Cody was a fangirl. I'm not even gonna lie. Cody fangirled out with me in DMs. I would get questions like, Mo, like I'm like, Cody, like, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I have a life. He was so, but what I loved about Cody, he paid attention. He was asking the questions that I always wanted to be asked. And I gravitated toward that because I'm like, it's the same thing I do with other filmmakers. And I saw his passion for it. So I came up with the character Uncle Saul. I pitched it to him. Next thing you know, Cody is in all but 1 Paranoia tapes film. And now I don't think we did 4. There was no, no, nowhere. Yeah. So, so basically Cody ties the whole fucking thing together.
He is the linchpin of the franchise. He's
the glue, and other
he's your
people,
crypt keeper.
I kind of went off the story, like, towards the end, like who the fuck is Cody? What the fuck does he do? Like, what is he? In Paranoia Tapes Genesis, his ass has like superpowers. Like, what the fuck?
What the fuck? How have I not been told about this? I need to see that immediately. Cody with superpowers sounds like it would make my entire week.
And I think
can't wait for Monday.
I have a
gotta-
lot of I'm under, in all honesty, Cody and Blaze like put me under a lot of stress because their
The
anticipation.
feeling's mutual, my friend.
Yeah. But it's like, meaning they don't know what to expect. And when Cody says, "Yeah, I just can't wait to see what you do with it," you don't ever say that shit to a filmmaker. I can't wait to see it. Fuck. So
But
now I
that's
actually
true.
gotta,
I mean, it's honest. We
yeah,
all, you know,
no, it's true. It's true.
what
But
effect do you hope for it to have, you know?
yeah, it's like, or they're looking for it. I think his text was like, "I'm looking forward to see what you do with it." So, when I add the effects, the overlays, the LUTs, they see it the first way they send it to me, but they can tell you I put work into it when the final product goes to them. And, like you see how Cody looks now, like with his background, or like, just, sir.
Sorry, I was teaching Jody how to pour a beer. Okay.
Thought you said it.
I'm still
That's
listening.
day one. That's day one, bro.
Yeah. But so you see how he looks now with his lights and stuff, when that's how like you would see it on, I would get it. Well, when I throw it back at him, there's like overlays, color correction, fucking lasers.
3D will give you a migraine. That's
Yeah.
fuck yeah. That's how you do it.
If you're epileptic, definitely watch my movies.
Definitely a seizure warning at the beginning of that thing.
But yeah.
Yeah, so fucking looking at the covers will probably give you an epileptic fit on some of them. But, you've muscled through 11 films in the franchise, my friend. And, love them or hate them, people can say whatever they want about. You've continued to do it for all these years. And it's a thing that exists because you were there and you were willing to put it together. A lot of filmmakers have gotten to feature their stuff in your stuff. And you've gotten a more full product because of it. Cody and, other people that have been involved, obviously credit due where that's concerned, but it's pretty rad that this thing exists. I'm very excited to check all of it out.
And I can announce this will be the final year of Paranoia Tapes.
Yeah, it seems like you're kind of at that point in your filmmaking journey where you're transitioning from these, crowdsourced sort of anthology tapes into standalone feature films, which we are going to get to. But I want to give Cody a moment to ask any questions that he needs to ask about, the franchise proper before we get into this, any tidbits you might think the people out there want to know. I also definitely have to send some of these Rainiers back to the sea, so I will return shortly. But Cody, the stream is in your hands for a minute, my friend. You can put that furry little ass to work. I'll see you in a minute.
I don't know how much I can ask that hasn't already been asked. Did on any of the Paranoia tapes, other than the wraparounds, did you do any actual tapes yourself?
Paranoia tapes 9, 85% of it was me. I filmed that in New Orleans in 2020, literally right before COVID hit. And I was planning on filming 9 and 10 back to back. And I still have the scripts. I think I may have given you I think I may have given you guys one of the unused script for part 10. And you can actually see I guess more or less it goes back to the original, of writing. So, part 9 is very, very personal to me because I did it most of it all myself, except 3 shorts. And I thought it's out of all of them since part 1, that one had my most influence, of Jack, in the film. And some people say like that. I think Dustin says that is like his most favorite one because I had such a hand in doing it. It's entertaining, you know.
Yeah, nine's definitely one of my favorite sequels too.
Except the Blu-ray version that doesn't play.
It's a good doorstop.
No, it's actually packed up. I still have them. Well, that was a quick blowjob. Damn, you finished.
It was. Yeah, I'm a 2-pump chump, man. That's just the way.
Speaking of that, you wanna hear the origins of the superpowers? I was like, hey Jack, Bo's got a girlfriend. I'm getting a little jealous. I think I can win him back if you give me some superpowers.
I think you're right.
We'll find out.
It's a good tactic, my friend.
The one thing actually for part 11 that he's in, his segments for Uncle Saul and Demi, I wanted to give their character or his character a personality, more so than just, hey guys, I got these tapes. I wanted to do more, and you don't see him. You see him differently. You see him as, well, I don't know what the fuck he is. I think
I'll always see him as my furry little gummy bear, man. But
well, this you're gonna love his lightning rod.
Oh boy, okay. Some NC-17 shit you got going on with Uncle Saul in that one. I'm down.
Just gotta watch the movie and find out. I think it's very
soon, baby. They're in Portland as we speak, which means they will be at our sorting facility locally.
Did
by
you
morning.
check it? Did you check it?
Yeah,
today?
I've been checking it like every few hours, and so I'll have it Monday morning when I show up at work. The box will be waiting there for me. So unless the truck blows up on the way or something, but I don't see that.
Let's not. Can we not put that into the?
Oh, we're gonna jinx it if we can. No, it'll be here. So yeah, man. I mean, 11 movies in the franchise. Are you doing one more to bookend it at 12, or is this one the last?
Okay, so I
might as well make it a 12-pack, man.
Well, no, I had this spinoff called The Greatest Hits. Well, I put it now as part 12. But in the render,
I think we can do better than that, brother. I'm not a fan of clip shows or greatest hits. I think it's, no offense, it is kind of an easy way out. I think that we could put together something to really put that fucking series to rest in a proper way that it deserves. And you have a solid 12-pack of anthologies, and you could move on with sound, heart, and mind, knowing that you left it in a good place.
My idea is to make a epic 4-hour movie of people watching my movies, putting makeup on, shopping in stores, walking around town, and looking at their phone while they're watching my movies.
I'm looking at this dead horse that's getting beaten.
But dumb, that's
and then watch rip-offs of my films from other filmmakers.
Of course, man. We have no limit to the shit that we'll put into our fucking brains. But you've transitioned. Now moving into your more current stuff, you've transitioned from sort of the found footage anthologies into doing more cinematic films, into doing more standalone films. What was sort of the inspiration to move in that direction with it? Did you kind of just find yourself, I guess, exhausted creatively when it came to the idea of these anthologies? Not that there's anything wrong with them. I haven't seen them all, so I can't speak to that yet. But what was the inspiration to move more into the standalone cinematic universe of filmmaking as opposed to doing the found footage stuff?
Well, I honestly, the reason why I found cinematic to produce them and write some of them was because people were getting tired of me doing found footage, and I wanted to express myself more, um, in a more creative way. So I,
That's big of you to admit too, man.
yeah,
A
no,
lot of other filmmakers would be way too stubborn to admit that they'd kind of taken it the distance and maybe it was time to move into a different avenue with it. But the fact that you're willing to say like, "Hey, man, my viewers were tired of it," you know, so it was time to throw in some other ingredients to kind of spice up the goulash a little bit, you know.
you're right. Yeah, and like I wasn't expecting Horror Nights to end up being statistically, like the number one horror movie in America during a pandemic. Uh, I wasn't expecting that. But the next thing you know, it happened. And by the grace of God, no one put out a horror movie at that time, at that weekend. No
Yeah,
one
you really lucked
ever.
out.
Dude, like, yeah. And next thing you know, Hollywood caught wind.
I mean, you could say it's number one on a technicality, but number one's still number one, baby. You
Right?
ain't
And if
first,
you're
you're
not first,
last.
you're
You
last.
know?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I did it. I did something no one, not even like Terrifier 2, that they can say. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know, man. That movie decimated major franchise entries that came
yeah,
out at the
possibly.
time.
Yeah, they
So
did. Yeah, yeah.
that might be the highest performing indie horror
Indie.
film of
Oh,
all time. You know.
yeah. Oh, yeah. By far, Terrifier 2 broke a lot of records, and
Yeah, it's
they
right
did
up
some
there, maybe
amazing
with
things.
Night of the Living Dead, of being like the biggest powerhouse in indie horror. But either, even if yours was like a weekend long record, it's still worth fucking being proud of, man. You were the number one horror film in the country for a minute there, and that's
And yeah, and it was great. I mean, it was a great feeling. I think the only disappointing thing with that is, we did all think our phones were about to blow the fuck up, but it didn't. And it was depressing.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, dude. There's a glut of horror being made at the moment. We are quite possibly living in the most like high demand era for horror films since the 80s, So the fact that you didn't get some call from Hollywood because of that isn't something that you should hold against yourself. There's like a million other horror films out there that are competing for that slot, and Terrifier 2 just happened to be the one that took it.
Right. And I am so happy for them, all of their success. I think, what they did actually put a spotlight on us indie guys.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like people
you
realize
guys are a more viable option for Hollywood than you have been in years because of Terrifier 2.
Yeah. And then Blame came around, and that film, it's actually in about 10 days or so, it's going to be released to the networks to pick up. So I got the email yesterday, but it's one of those.
I can go ahead and send that email to quit my job then.
Oh fuck! I would not. Yeah, sure, Cody. No. Anyways, don't do that. I think what's happened. Sorry. So I went from Horror Nights, and then I produced one called Night Tales from filmmaker David Black from Australia, and then I literally took a break. I was going through a lot in my life, getting my kids back, and then I had met the mother of my child, Macy. She was special effects, and we gravitated towards each other creatively, and fell in love. And We have a child, Aurora, and we creating a child, in all honesty, is probably
More
the most.
important than a movie. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. So I took
Uh,
I took a break.
so you took a break to do some domestic stuff, kind of reflecting on the legacy, all that shit. And it sounds
Yeah,
like you sort of came to the point where you were like, listen, people are kind of over the found footage stuff a little bit. And I'd like to express myself a little bit deeper and,
yeah.
and more, in depth. So it's
Well, the thing is, with this will be the only show that I'll talk about this. I won't say this on any other show. Um,
Well, I mean, this does go out to the internet.
well, this is the only show that I
It's
will
out
tell.
there once it's out there. You know?
This is the only show that I will tell the story, and I'm not and viewers who are watching, I am not exploiting this situation in any way, shape, or form. I am a veteran, a disabled war vet with PTSD, anxiety, uh, the above, and I use filmmaking as my therapy. That goes along with music. When I write a song, it is my therapy. I may say things that other people would never say, but it's things that need to be heard or said. I don't say
Right.
anything that's untrue uh, with music. But when it comes to films, the movie Blamed is based on my daughter's story. And like I said, this is the only time I'm going to tell the story. Uh, I'm not, again, I am not exploiting my daughter's story to make this movie bigger than it needs to be. But as a father, it is something I had to do. Uh, in December of 2021, I found out my daughter was beaten and molested. And I actually had the idea for Blamed prior to this situation. And it was very heartbreaking. And I reached out to a lot of my filmmaker buddies and I told them what's been going on. And at the time, they're like, you should probably shelve Blame because of the nature of it. We don't want art to imitate life to the to the full extent.
Yeah, there is a certain limit that you want to take stuff like that to.
Right.
Blamed is a rough watch. It's a very confrontational film. I have not seen the ending of it. I will admit that at the time when I was trying to watch the rough cut, it was a little too much for me, because I have a daughter, I have a child,
Yeah.
Subject matter is not for the faint of heart. It is very much you doing something that is outside the wheelhouse of a lot of the PT stuff that I'm aware of. And,
Yeah, it's
you took a chance on it, man. Whether
absolutely.
it becomes, super successful or not, on some level, it's definitely something you should be proud of. To my knowledge, right? Like your first completed standalone cinematic film that isn't an anthology or found footage or anything like that.
Well, I think,
Well, with the exception of what was it, the music one that
wait,
you
hold
did
on.
prior, right?
Well, hold on. Like Cody can help me out with this too. Um, it's according to the critics, this isn't me. I created a new genre called reality horror because in this film, everything you see can happen. People can do these situations exist in our time. This film is a sexual abuse and child abuse awareness movie. The only film that has ever done this was the film Hard Candy, and that was cinematic.
Rough
This,
watch too, right there. Hard
oh
Candy
God,
was. I was so infuriated by the end of that movie because the
oh, you're
dude did not deserve the fucking what he got. You know.
well. See, that's
But
left that what happens in that is left up to interpretation. You know, that really is. I'm not left up to
bro,
interpretation
that
from
guy
your
was
feelings.
fucking. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's.
yeah. There's like
I think there's other films that have done it, but the term was coined for blamed, maybe because they're, Last House on the Left. We've had stuff like that since the
yes.
olden
Okay.
days.
So
Of
okay.
horror,
Wait. Okay. You're right. You're absolutely Last House on the Left. Yes, but to this extent, and what we do in Blamed has not been done.
Yeah, it's a rough watch. It's
Yeah, it's
seasoned horror kid right here, and like I said, I had to tap out like
it's not
15 minutes from the end or something like that. It was.
No, you didn't make it. Yeah,
We did 45 minutes of Blamed, so whatever
that
that's
rough
worth.
cut, the rough cut.
Yeah,
Like it wasn't. So there's more stuff you ain't seen at all. But
probably.
we with I mean, Cody, what do you think the genre is? I mean, it's in found footage, but it's not found footage because we want you to see it. There's nothing found about it.
Yeah, I mean I would think that term that reality
Horror.
I think that's kind of a more updated title for found footage, but then like you said, it's the same quality as the found footage, except somebody isn't finding the footage, it's already available.
Right. And if people have been failed by the judicial system, this is the film for you. Pay attention to every detail in the film. And there's one thing that doesn't get answered, but it will in the sequel. And everyone, Cody knows exactly what I'm talking about. But I had to make this film for me. And I think Cody can really admit that there was a lot of tension on set before, for the, like during the kidnapping and certain aspects of the film. I broke down. I had a mental breakdown on set, and I lashed out. I even yelled at Blaze, and that wasn't it was my fault, but it wasn't my intentions.
Yeah, just don't let it happen again. Okay.
Hey,
let's
anyways,
not have that being a thing.
I'm not Stanley Kubrick, that I'm not him. But what I did at that point, I said, I gathered everyone in the room. I made everyone turn off their cameras, turn off their phones. I didn't want any of this being recorded. And I told them the true story of why we're making this film. It went from, oh my God, is Jack mad? To, oh my God, Jack.
I imagine it would, that'll change the tone of a situation.
Yeah, and I love everyone that was a part of it. Like, Mary LeBlanc Zonbrecker, she's still my friend till this day, like ride or die. She is so talented, and she let us use her house. She let us use her barn, her property for a week. She's such a blessing to be friends with. We're both parents, and we know that it's very the subject matter is very, very rough. But
I'll say I think after that happened, as far as Blamed, I don't think there was any more issues.
Oh no, there wasn't.
Seems like that one went smooth.
It did. It really did. I'm appreciative of everyone that was a part of it. And
apologies again for not being able to do the red carpet stream. Glad Cody was able to be there in our stead. Hold that.
That was the worst part of the night.
High,
You know,
I don't know about that. I think the worst
No.
part of the night was when you guys left his fucking sound off for the premiere. But you know, it is
that
what it is.
was that.
Sometimes there's technical kicks.
I didn't know it happened. That wasn't me. I didn't know. But what happened? Like what? You know, we had the premiere. Um, I was so happy with the people that came to it.
I think the interview portion was, I mean, not just because I was on it, but I think that was really cool. And I think if I was there, it would mean a lot to me that somebody wants to talk to me about the movie, and not only that, like, it's being live streamed and then also put on as a special feature, like for somebody that, you know, months down the road of doing something, someone's actually asking about it, and at least it probably made it maybe a little more personable, because I'm not asking just the generic. I mean, I asked, you know, what's your name, what's your character, but then I could talk about tidbits about it. So I'm not just asking them just the, I don't know, the formal stuff with no care, I'm just going down the lines until I kick them to the side for the next one. So I mean, it was like that. If for me not being able to be there, I think that was a very good compromise, and I think that probably almost turned out better just because we got more out of it. That wouldn't have been an option if I would have been there, I wouldn't think.
Yeah, I mean, you know, because
I mean, I'd like it to be.
You know,
I'd like us to be an option for more indie projects in the future for stuff like that if they ever premiere too. I think that we could get real good at that, and I think that it's something
There's really no downside to it.
Dude, I've been encouraging other indie podcast guys I know to look into doing it too. I mean, it's something that should exist for indie horror premieres. If somebody can like arrange a red carpet premiere for it, there should be, you know, some podcast press in the house that are able to, you know, do some red carpet interviews and make it feel more like a proper red carpet premiere.
But here's the deal though, like, so what I didn't know about that night was there was another function, a charity event for women in abuse shelter, yeah. And
the timing of that is unfortunate.
Like I had no fucking
wow. Holy shit.
Yeah, so it was like I truth be told, I lost out money that night. But
hey, you lose out money doing a lot of this stuff.
But it was fun to do. It was
not a profit.
You know, my baby was there. She's on camera with Cody. You know, that was.
Oh yeah, you guys were both dapper as fuck. It looked like that blamed. I mean, I was even more bummed that I couldn't be there after seeing how it turned out. You know,
when we do Blame 2 and when I premiere it, you have to be there. You got to take off. You got to make it up. You know. You have to.
Yeah. I'll rent out a tux for it, and we'll make it a proper. You know, we'll be there.
Color. Yeah, absolutely.
That'll never happen, bro.
But you know,
you guys want to see this shit in full color? You fucking see it in person, baby. Yeah, that's
all right.
That's how it works. I stream in black and white as a tribute to all the horror hosts of the past.
You know. Anyway, but. So
what's that fucking Iron Maiden song? You know the one I'm talking about? I only dream in black and white.
Oh yeah.
I only dream because I'm alive. Yeah, it's fucking amazing.
You know, I just want.
Oh shit! You know, I don't know what happened there, but I like it.
I didn't see that room of the house.
Yeah. Is that the house you're gonna buy with all the blamed money?
I can't see shit on my screen. It's gray, dude. I don't see
anything. Fuck, that's not good. So we should probably, you know, truck on through to the end here. So after Blamed, you were able to release Amityville Rideshare and Paranoia Tapes 11, which our boy Blaze is heavily involved in. And then, you know, Rideshare was something that was shot during that week where Cody came out there. And you guys intended to shoot, I think, 3 movies, but you got like two and 2/3 of one done.
Yeah. So we had a goal, a dynasty of horror to make these films, but
you should probably remove all that at merch off of your.
Yeah. As Cody and I were like, dude, like after every fucking night, man, especially that night of the last thing we did for Blamed. I mean, I think the first couple of days we were like, oh shit, like okay, we can do this. We can do this. But I will say the smell in my car after that last night of Blamed, holy fuck.
See, I know you don't like you called it cynicism. I don't think that's it. I'm just very reality based, you know. So had I been involved in that, had I been with you guys out there, it would have been none of that. It would have been like, there's beer and pizza and let's shoot.
No, that's exactly what it was. But let's
just focus on this and get it done real good.
No,
and then
hold up. We filmed in the hottest summer, record-breaking heat in Louisiana.
In a barn.
Yeah, that guarantees I'm not coming out for the second movie. I mean, I would have been at your house watching your DVDs while you guys were out doing that.
So, when we do Blame 2, it's going to be in like, it'll probably be like
come shoot it up here with some temperate weather, man. Fly out here for a weekend. We'll fucking shoot that shit, make it real good. You guys can get some forests involved or something like that.
We have that. We have forests. You'll never see the footage, but we do have forest footage. We're gonna film in cooler weather. But what I'm saying is, me and Cody, like, and Blaze, I'm talking sweat, dude. When we got home that last night of Blamed, like, I'm like, you know what? You guys go take a shower first. Like, y'all go. And which was the last night before he left. I think we slept in and then he left like the next day. But it was really funny because we were exhausted. Like, when I tell you my voice was gone, at least now you can hear me. Then I sounded like a kid going through fucking puberty. That was in the very beginning. It was that bad. But Cody's ass brings out this bag, this duffel bag, and it is nothing but my films. And I think it was like, so you gonna sign these?
Like, might as well make use of the time, you know.
Fuck. I said yes, but I'm not opening them. So it was like this little factory line. And Cody would be like, and so by the time I wasn't even done signing everything, and they were getting out of the shower, it was over 75 films, Cody, DVDs, Blu-rays.
Which, if you're listening, I still have just a few copies remaining, so hit me up.
Yeah, you can get those off of Cody direct at, his information is available. Just contact him.
And, so it was.
Honestly, dude, I can't. I mean, respect for trying, but I can't believe you guys even went into shooting the next movie. I would have called it at Blamed and then maybe shot some like pickups for stuff that you could have maybe used. It probably all would have hit the cutting room floor anyways. But I mean, there's a quality over quantity thing that I think I would have been the asshole to remind everybody about while we were doing it if I was there. Like, why do that when we can watch Evil Dead and get drunk and then spend the next fucking couple of days just
we had movie nights.
Yeah.
What you guys watch? I'm more interested in that right now. What did you guys put down while you were over there?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
We watched the Netflix one because Blaze hadn't seen it. We watched the Furries.
We did. No, did we? We didn't finish. Did we?
I know we started it.
The Furries.
Yeah. The Furries was
I don't remember what else.
God, I mean, Mo, we didn't go to bed till 2-3 in the morning every night, and then.
Yeah, if I was there, you guys wouldn't have went to bed till I passed out.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust your ass. But I do have
be cooking hot dogs at like 2 in the morning, talking about bullshit B movies, and then going out and shooting all hungover.
In my home, I only have one rule. If I invite you in, because my circle is really small, I'm very private. I only have one rule. Cody, what's that rule?
I don't know. I don't think he's sure, bro.
Yeah, he knows.
Don't feed him after midnight.
If you ain't feeding me after midnight, what the fuck are you doing here first? But
Let him
no,
get wet.
come on, Cody. Mornings.
Oh, don't talk to him in the morning.
Well, that's getting broken immediately, dude. If I
No,
Yeah,
wait,
yeah.
until there's an until. No, it's not don't talk to me. It's don't ask me question or it was talking. You're right. Like just let me wake up.
I am breaking that immediately.
You don't want
Yeah, but it'll be
don't,
something
Cody.
stupid, you know.
It got broken the last morning because Cameron and
Luke, yeah.
they were there.
No, that was the night
Because they were there for Chorophobia. That was the last morning that we were all there because I left the next morning.
No. It was the blamed morning because they came the day before to do Chorophobia because we waited a day and then we did blame the final night. Okay, whatever. All right.
Chorophobia was the last night because that's when we had those issues.
Oh, yeah.
Point is, if you invite me for a fucking sleepover to make movies, dude, I'm gonna bug you the entire time.
How many mornings I get up and get upset that you aren't grilling hot dogs in my kitchen?
Yes, exactly. I'm gonna be
Every
doing
single
that.
morning.
I mean, I'll make you guys fried bologna sandwiches while you're on set. I'll probably carry all those, Gatorade coolers and whatever the fuck we need to be out there in that disgusting balmy southern heat.
So you're gonna be the house bitch.
Pretty much, I'll be the house bitch, and then like the dude that selects the movies for the weekend.
I keep hoping that flights will get cheaper.
We damn sure wouldn't have been watching no Netflix Chainsaw Massacre when I was there.
It's one of the greatest sequels of all time. You can go
fucking stonks, bro. But I have one final beer to drink with you fellas, and we have to go bowling. So we got to wrap this up here. Cody, you ask any follow-up questions, you go. I'm going to release these rain dogs back to the sea. And then we're gonna close this out because I gotta go get laid, my friends. That's what has to happen right now. So, I'll be right back.
Too. It's weird.
Yeah, it's really weird.
What did you say?
I call it bowling too. That's weird.
Hey, I'm gonna roll a couple of strikes tonight, hopefully, or just leave someone deeply disappointed. But we'll figure that out as time goes on. Yeah, maybe a spare, she says.
Yeah,
split.
If it's 7-10 split. Wait, why are you ruling out a turkey?
What the fuck, guy? Okay, Cody, ask some questions.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, it was last night was Chorophobia because I wasn't gonna leave I was gonna stay a couple more days, but with the issues that night, we weren't gonna do anything the next day. Chorophobia was the last night.
Are you positive?
Yeah, because they came the night before and stayed the night. Because we did Chorophobia the last day, and then we were you wanted to take the next day off, and then we were maybe gonna do something the day after.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. Holy shit, I forgot. Dude, yeah. Yeah, those issues. Wow. I forgot those issues because of real life issues.
Right.
Yeah, I like no disrespect to Cameron and Luke and them, but Cameron kept talking, and you would look at me, and it was just like you.
I told him more than once. I was your translator, and it just wasn't.
I would look at you with like, are you good? Am I gonna have to tell? Like,
I told him more than multiple times. It just wasn't. It wasn't connecting.
It's cool. No, guys. I'm just in the morning. Because of the medication I take at night with my PTSD and all that. In the mornings, I'm like bipolar until my medicine kicks in. But after that, it's like the day's fucking great, it's the only thing, that helps with depression, truthfully. That and singing and writing songs, but I enjoyed that entire week. I've never had someone come in, from out of state and was sad when they left, because you're family, man. Like you and Blaze, and then to see what he did when he went back home, bro, like that's cool as shit. Because he, even though he screwed up with one thing, okay,
you're in it now.
Can you sing a little jingle for us?
Do it, dude.
I'm God. Hold on,
Twisted
go.
rubber arm.
Let's see. Mama told me when I was young, oh God, sit beside me, my only son. I'm trying.
You're doing good. I
Listen
like it.
closely. How about you do what I say? And if you do this, it'll help you some sunny day. Yeah.
Fuck off, man.
Here we go. Oh yeah. Be a simple, baby, be a simple man. Be something you're loving, understand. Be a simple, baby, be a simple man. I want you to this for the sun if you can. Yeah.
I liked it.
Oh,
Good
God.
choice of song.
Yeah, I've been
Jody's a
recording.
bit of a singer herself, so
No, I'm not.
yeah, you are.
I was gonna cut in.
Jody will be providing some songs probably for future projects at some point.
No, I won't.
Yeah,
Thank
we'll
you.
hook her up with old Joe
Shut up.
Sherlock, and she can provide some vocals for something.
Hold on. Yeah, I've been recording. I'm actually recording an album right now during my transition of moving, which is, to me, this will be this album will probably be the most. Jesus Christ! Everybody just boop 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 boop.
Hey, I'm back, man. I'm here for you, baby.
Oh, true.
Thanks for
Thank you.
singing.
Wait, you
Jody
know what?
says thanks
Oh,
for singing.
You're welcome. Thank you. You make sure she watches my cover of "It's Been a While." But no, like this.
I'm gonna force Jody to watch so much Jack Hunter stuff. She
Yeah,
will
but make sure you
hate you by the
start
time
her off.
he's here. There we go.
Yeah.
You're missing his bunny. Look at this. That fucking bunny is in most of Cody's like update videos when he's watching movies,
Oh,
and she always looks so
cute.
disappointed in what he's watching.
I wanna
It's the
kiss
best
its
thing
nose.
ever.
So cute.
You will get to kiss its nose one day, I'm pretty sure.
Aw. I'd probably be scared.
Sorry, Jack. Limelight stolen by a bunny.
It's okay,
that's,
but
that's how we roll over.
My new album is called will be called The Depression Sessions, and
There you go. It's a good title.
yeah, and it's probably the most personal song album I've ever done. So I'm literally changing songs to fit my emotions.
I think that's standard music operating procedure for musicians, eh?
Yeah, but the thing is I've never been a fan of that. But once you go,
that's what you got to do if you're being true to your shit,
dude. Straight up, like once you go through what I've gone through in the last 7 days,
legalize it.
Yeah. I just
I'm sorry, man. I follow the Big Lebowski method when I'm about to go bowling. I need a little bit of weed in my system, What?
Okay. But no,
No?
Already there.
I am currently like, whoa. We all get
Demonetized. No, go ahead, Jack. I'm sorry.
No,
We gotta wrap this up, bro. I
yeah.
gotta roll some strikes right now. Not that I don't love hanging out with you guys. I think this has been epic. Let me just.
It's a lot better than the first attempt.
Cody, you're trying to say something, and your furry little face is muted right now. Let me hear your voice. You can't do that to us.
He wants to motorboat.
Well, I think even though this wasn't the idea
You're
a
not
couple weeks
wrong.
ago,
No.
I think doing this as a
mutual.
standalone,
That's
and
fine.
then actually going into like a chunk of tapes at a time. I think doing this one before then makes it to where like on the next one we can just do, only talk about PT 1 through 5 and then 6 through 10 and then have a
The
blamed,
last
have a
three,
ride share. Like since we got this part, I don't want to say out of the way, but since we've done this part, on the next one we can just go straight into just separate movies and just
and
hammer
literally
home that stuff.
Mo, you can ask any questions and give your honest opinion, whether it's negative or not.
I don't have to worry about me being honest with you, baby.
And we got a comment.
It
won't let me click on it, Mo.
Let me see.
Do it, yeah. Use
It
your
won't let me.
newfound admin privileges.
It won't let me click on it.
What? Are you serious?
I know who that is.
I'm clicking on it, but it's not doing anything.
We got Cindy Sanabria, and if you turn out to be a porn bot, I'm going to be so disappointed, Cindy. Hola to you as well, Cindy. You think that's a porn
she's
bot?
not a porn bot. She's a real
I
woman.
can hope it is.
She's yeah.
Okay, we believe you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cindy. Hello to you too.
Yeah. Hola. But no, we
This has been great, though. Laid a good foundation for what we're going to be doing with the further discussions with Jack. This is if you need an entry level thing to learn about Jack before you start watching his movies. I feel like this has been concise, to the point. It's under 2 hours. I don't know what you were talking about. The dude's doing like 6 hours worth of interviews. I'm sure it was worth it. And we're probably going to end up topping that by the end of these discussion series. But this has been great, man. Thanks for coming on for it. I do want to apologize for our first attempt at this interview kind of going off the rails.
God, dude, I still don't know.
We had a good time, but by the end it was like,
wait, who had a good time? Because all I got was disrespected for like.
I think Cody fucking thought it was pretty funny, and we roasted you pretty good.
Guys who's watching this, you'll never see.
We do it out of love, my friend.
It was. It was torture. Like I've never been so uncomfortable in questioning my friendship with anyone.
I feel like we've made you more uncomfortable.
No.
I feel like we've done better.
No, that shit was. It was just, But
I was in a bad place.
You manned up.
Friend,
yeah, it was cool. Like it's fun to laugh at now. Then I wanted to break your nose. But
hey, man, probably wouldn't have worked out for you if you'd tried it. I don't think that's ever, here's the deal with me. I'm a very honest person when it comes to this stuff. And sometimes it's brutal honesty. And sometimes it's very much painted by whatever place I'm in my life. So I was kind of mean to you when we were doing that, man.
It's cool.
But I think, in the time since that we've had, it's became very clear that it's like good-natured ribbing. We're never trying to take the piss out of everything that you do. We do love you, man. If we didn't, we wouldn't still deal with you.
You wouldn't have a month dedicated to me. It's cool. I get it.
Yeah.
And what I was saying is take notes.
I got a handful of ass. Keep talking,
Jack. God.
This is so much better than the first time that we did this.
Yes. Okay, so what I'm saying is you can take notes and dissect every single thing. I'm not going to be offended. You know why? Because I'm not going to give a fuck. You know why? Because I'm already who I am because of it.
And we're friends, man. I mean, we might get frustrated with you sometimes. You might get frustrated with us, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's, you know, we wouldn't still be fucking with each other if there wasn't like a mutual connection and interest in the type of shit that we do. You know,
You're absolutely right. You know, that's what makes things, you know, it's about those friendships that we make that, you know,
They
makes
transcend whatever our bullshit opinions on stuff might be. Or,
all right,
you
look,
know,
dude, you better go get laid, and I'm gonna live vicariously through you.
hey, it sounds like it'll be happening for you again soon enough. TBD on that.
Wait, what?
Cody, what would your final thoughts on the career of one Jack Hunter II be, or Jay Jr., as we're going to take to calling him over here? It's okay.
Jack's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, he does not look happy with that comment. What are your thoughts, my friend? Also, rad Vanilla Ice t-shirt. We haven't taken enough time to appreciate that tonight.
I would say if you're coming in not knowing Jack, don't be, I don't want to say afraid of the big filmography and worry that you have to have a lot of catching up to do. It's definitely, you can get through it. Hopefully a lot of the stuff will be on streaming soon. And if you are old school like we are, want that physical media, there's definitely ways you can get that. Get a hold of Jack, get a hold of me. We can definitely hook you up and get you in that right direction, so you'll be ready when we start interviewing when we start talking about the individual movies.
Speaking of, this is a pickup from today.
There you go.
Cowabunga.
Was that like a turtle's cock ring?
Hey,
hey, Joey, please, this man. His horniness.
Here, put this in your mouth.
Anyways, if you got you're right. Yeah. If this is your introduction into me, then get ready. You know, there's. I will say this: for a while, I have not been able to be myself. And
New year, new me. You know, as they say.
Yeah, literally. Like that's 2023. I think for me, personally, is
all coming up, Jack.
Yeah, it's like I've hid certain parts of me because is there someone doing something over there, like something boom boom boom, or is that over here? Anyway,
that could have been my furnace starting. My bad. Man.
Okay, but like this is gonna be a year where I'm gonna do things that are gonna surprise people. And it's because I have been so scared to do other things because I was afraid. I was afraid of what people thought.
Yeah, fuck them though. You know,
I
think this is a year for all of us to do that shit.
This year, I am going to be happy in more ways than one. You know,
Jack,
and
I will take you into my loving embrace, and I will caress the goodness out of you. Okay.
No, you can caress all you want. But
Jody is going to help. She says.
Okay.
It's your person job.
I won't hold you against my chest.
So basically,
continue, man. I'm not trying to.
This is going to be an Eiffel Tower situation when we see each other.
I don't know about that. Well, you might be in the middle though.
New year, new me, mother. You know.
Hey, don't knock until you try it, man.
Oh, I will continue to knock it. No. Anyways, I'm an outie.
This has been a blast, man. I mean, you've got a lot of good things on the horizon for you. You know, I think we all do. I think that this is something that we needed to do to sort of reinvigorate our excitement to talk about these films. I think we're going to bust out some pretty good discussions for them in the long run. And I think that, you know, we're going to move on to some pretty cool stuff afterwards. And, you know, just keep getting out there and plugging away, guys. You know, life might discourage you sometimes. You might run into a couple of roadblocks here and there, whether it comes in the form of shit in your indie horror life or your YouTube life or your personal life. But you just got to just keep trying because you never know when something's going to work out great. 6 months ago, I thought I was going to be single for like the next fucking 15 years. Now I'm with this delicious lady. So it's who knows how things are going to work out. You gotta have hope. You gotta keep your head up. You gotta just keep soldiering on.
Absolutely. Gotta keep moving
Jack
forward.
is a testament to that. Just do your thing, man. People might like it, people might not, but at least you're doing your thing.
And
you're
at
out
least
there
I'm
and
not
you're
ripping
making
off
something.
other filmmakers, so I'm good.
No, fuck it. Let's start ripping them off. I mean, some of the best shit I've ever seen is like rip-offs of other
The
stuff.
5G
I like your
Rex.
singing.
What'd you just say while you're down there showing me that video?
Said I like his singing.
She likes your singing, so pursue that a
No,
little bit
but
too.
If you like that, show her.
Yeah,
It's
good
been a
time.
while.
Yeah,
you gotta show her.
I'll let her check it out.
We'll do a
Sure.
tripod.
I'm on iTunes.
He just suggested the Eiffel Tower, and like I said, I'm pretty sure he would be in the middle. He'd be the bridge, right? Like with
Sure,
us
I'd
on the
get
other
the-
side.
sure, I'd get the strap, and then
I am not into pegging,
Yeah.
being pegged.
She's experienced at it though. If you want to try it,
Shut up.
18 and over. Please don't demonetize. So we
I
don't
think I'm gonna have
monetize
Blaze
it.
cut it off like 5 minutes ago when he watches it.
Absolutely.
Definitely do not let him watch this beyond us.
I think an hour 50. I'll just tell him
If
it's over.
hour
just turn it
50,
off.
yeah, he'll be
It's
good.
done.
Yeah. He's gonna watch it on his phone. And he's gonna be like, "Dad, I can't finish it."
Yeah, she's over here sipping country time lemonade because this is sort of normal for us. But definitely rad that you came on to do this. I'm glad you were able to make it on for it, Cody. Sadly, Septimson was busy working on some stuff with Evan Jacobs, so he was indisposed for a good reason. But lots of cool stuff on the frontier for all of us. Definitely get out there and check out Jack's films. You can easily order them through him via Kunaki and all that stuff. We'll try to throw a link down there probably later on tonight after I get back from bowling. If not, you can just easily find Jack on Facebook to contact him and figure out how to buy those films. I don't know if your deal is still going on that you're running. I think that was supposed to go till Valentine's Day.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, so there you could definitely get a good, JHP Studios bundle if you hit him up and you buy that shit through Kanaki.
I may be changing my name to like Mama Bear Manipulation LLC.
Peg Boy Productions.
Oh.
We love you, Jack.
Very nice.
You realize
Oh,
I'm
we
in
gotta-
Louisiana, right? Like where people
Mic drop.
are. Yeah, Cody, please do not let your son, as even though he is
I think
16,
so.
like no, don't do this.
Wow, Cody.
No, we're good, bro. No homo, as the kids say.
Dude, you could be homo. We accept you.
So closing this out, Jack, what is one random movie recommendation not from your filmography that you want to throw on the fine people out there? I think that is something I want to make a regular thing for all interviews going forward, is a recommendation for a classic horror film that's near and dear to you. So what's the one that you're going to throw out to the people?
Let me Google the year real quick. And then
Just overall, it doesn't have to be from this year. It can be from
I know.
1983. I don't give a shit.
Okay, yeah. And it's not a horror film at all. It's actually
Tom Cruise's The Mummy.
fuck you. God damn it, Cody. Mo, relieve him.
We're always going to be trolls, bro. You just have to accept it. It's just the way we operate. It's good-natured ribbing. Would you rather, let's be real here. We've never treated anybody that came on for an interview like they're a celebrity or anything, and that's never going to fucking happen. You guys are our bros,
Yeah.
You just have
No,
to have made a lot
okay.
of rad movies.
So the movie I am recommending is 2001's Mark Wahlberg movie Rockstar. The wannabe
Good one.
got to be.
Not what I would have expected. That's right up there with Almost Famous for me, as being like good music movies, Sadly, I
Absolutely.
missed the discussion Inside Movies Galore did for that not long ago. Usually I'm in on that crew. Had to miss that one for various reasons. But if you want to check out a full-length discussion for Rockstar, check out Inside Movies Galore on YouTube.
It's just and the soundtrack. Like I fucking love the soundtrack. Like they slayed it. You know, even though it wasn't Mark singing, it was still a good soundtrack. Original songs
He
from
can get
the
down with the
80s.
Funky Bunch.
Yeah, but he's not the singer as you know. He
He's
lip
got
sync
good vibrations.
He
Okay,
did, yeah.
we get the meme.
Listen, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch is one of the greatest hip hop groups of all time.
I'm picking up good vibrations.
It's true. He might be the greatest rapper alive.
With
I don't know a higher note to end it on. Than
I
that.
can't even keep a straight face with that, man. So this has been, you know, found footage and mass mayhem with Jack Hunter II, or Jay Jr., as we're going to be calling him.
and I am
we will be. He is. I love that you got the Jack Jr. down there as your tag. That's pretty good stuff. We will be back here in probably a couple of weeks with Paranoia tapes 1 through 5 discussion. We'll see if Jody wants to partake in some of that.
You know
Time
what?
will tell. But
Since you're always interviewing people, she can actually, whether she likes it or not, she can ask questions. You know, she could be in the other room on her phone or computer asking questions. You know, like on video.
True enough, yeah, a little peanut gallery action. I was
Yeah.
also going to suggest that if we're going to be coming back for these, like, you know, bulk interviews and stuff, if you wanted to bring along, you know, anybody that was involved in these films that's down to come on here and talk about them with us and you, bring them along, man. You know, we're going to talk about the first 5 Paranoia tapes in the next episode. So look forward to that. And that's about it. We don't really have anything to plug right now other than our most recent Schlock Talk and our most recent episode, which was for Chris Seaver's Evil Night. Our next episode is going to be for Carousel, which is Cody's selection. And then we're going to be moving into a whole new round of selections for the month. I can't speak to the other guys' selections, but the first of mine is going to be old Sean Wright's double feature of short films over there at Face Melt Features. So we're very much looking forward to covering that. Right there, baby, signed and everything. And then hopefully we can get Sean to come on here and talk about that stuff with us. He's been putting out open invitations for people to do it. We got a badass little speaker back there.
I'm trying to hide it.
Cheers. Thanks for watching. I've been Mosley. You've been a bunch of randy schlockaholics. And this has been yet another episode of, I mean, it's not an episode of anything. It's just us hanging out with Jack. But it was a good time. And I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Check out Jack on the various links that will be available several hours after this has been published. And we'll see you back here next time. Thanks for watching.